Hello, musicians. This is Corey Taylor from SkilledMusician.com, where we are helping musicians improve. Thank you all so much for checking out this video. Now, I know it's been a while since I last posted, but don't worry. We have over 50 new videos lined up to be shared with you really soon. So stay tuned. Now, today's video is an interesting one. I had the opportunity to work with an up-and-coming YouTuber out of Canada. Her name is Christine, and her channel is Canada Music Lessons. And she is learning gospel music and wanted me to share tips with her and her channel about how to go from beginner to intermediate level. So what we did was we took a hymn, one of my absolute favorite hymns, I Need Thee, and I shared a simple process on how to take this hymn from a very basic beginner level and improve it up to intermediate level or so. So you're going to get to hear her ask me questions that I'm sure many of you have, and hear how we work through the process. Now, just know this is part one of many in this series. We'll probably release part two in the next 2 weeks. So follow along with us as we go through this hymn and this learning process. Now, I would love to hear you play this hymn as well. So I challenge you, especially if you're a beginner, follow along with us each week, each lesson, and play this hymn with us. And I would love to hear it. So send me an email or tag me on social media at Skilled Musician. And I would love to hear it and give you some feedback. All right, so let's not waste any more time. Let's get started.
That's great. We're excited to jump in. The hymn we're going to be looking at is called I Need Thee Every Hour. I'm going to play it in the beginner version like we've been doing it in class, and then Corey will hand it over to you to show us how to add some fun stuff. So in class, we've been doing our right hand is just triads. We've just recently added in inversions, some simple inversions. And our left hand, we're playing just the bass note. So this is what it would sound like, starting with the intro. 1, 2, 3. I need thee every hour, most gracious Lord. No tender voice like thine can peace afford. I need thee, oh, I need thee. Every hour I need thee. Oh, bless me now, my Savior. I come to thee. And then from there, we would go into the next verse. So that's what we've got, Corey, our beginner version. So go ahead, take it away. Show us how we can add some spice and some flavor to our basic hymn.
All right. So this is one of my favorite hymns. I absolutely love it. So there is so much you can do with this hymn. It's one of my favorites. And so I'm excited to jump in. But let's start at the very beginning. One of the things that's really integral, like it's part of the core of how I do everything, is knowing the melody. If you've been on my YouTube channel, you hear me say all the time, melody is king. And so when we're playing the song, the melody is what separates it from a next song, because many songs share the same chords. So if I'm going, you don't know what song I'm playing, so now you know. So the first thing I teach my students to do, and I'm sharing with you all, is to start with what I call the skeleton version, which is one note in the left hand, one note in the right hand. The skeleton version. And so we're simply playing the root of the chord in the left hand and the melody in the right hand. So that's the first thing. And
So I have a question,
yes,
Corey. So we have some of our students are asking about that, like starting with the melody. If they don't know it already, or would you recommend they're trying to find it by ear, or how can they find the notes to do that with the skeleton?
all right. So, okay. So if you read music, it's really easy. Just grab a hymn book. I have many over here, just many hymn books, and just read the top line. The top line is generally the melody. So if you're able to read, grab a hymn book, or if you have the sheet music of the song, use that. Many churches do have hymn books, but if you're in a place where they don't have hymn books, then you're going to have to learn it by ear. And it's
Mm,
not difficult to learn it by ear. As you heard Christine singing, she can sing beautifully. So you might say, I'm not a singer, but I need the every need the every, and so you'd find it that way. If you know the song and you can sing it pretty well, if you know the melody pretty strongly, or you might go to YouTube or anywhere else and pull up a recording and just learn it that way. Or what I used to do was, in my church, before I knew how to play a lot of these songs, I just take a recorder and just record service and go home and practice what I was hearing. And so,
mm.
because the truth is, even though you might know a song and you might even know the proper way, for example, the church I went to grew up, started playing, and they didn't do any song the right way. So I had to learn their version, and so that's a way you can, and then slowly go through and figure out the melody. And so what you're doing is trying to match tones. So say for instance, you're hearing and what you want to do is just find that note on the piano, and you might not know where it is. So you're gonna just and when you get the note, there won't be a clash. It'll just kind of smooth out. So you hear it all of a sudden. It just and yeah. So just work through it like that slowly. And there are other software programs I like to use to slow down the music. Um, one fun fact on YouTube, you can actually slow down the video. If you click on the settings cog on any YouTube video and go to speed, you can slow it down to whatever speed you like. So if you're trying to listen to the melody from a recording on YouTube, if not, if it's something you happen to have on your computer or device, there are many programs like iRehearse, the Amazing Slow Downer, um, Meticulous, uh, or even some of your DAW programs like Logic and Pro Tools. You can in Ableton. These programs you can slow down music as well.
That's super cool. Well, thank you. I know we've had a lot of people asking that. So thank you for breaking that down with the hymn book and playing by ear, how they could figure that out at home. That's
Right.
great.
Right. So yeah. So the first thing we have to do is we have to get um, the melody and then the root of the chord. And there's lots of reasons why we do this. Um, uh, how many should I give you? Like I can stay here forever, Christine. I really could. I really could. Okay, so let me give you an example of why we want to know the melody. The melody affects our chord choices. And I'm going to get further into this, but let me just kind of show you an example. At the very end of the song, the last line, I come to thee. What's that melody? I come to thee. That's the melody. But oftentimes, now the the bass at that moment or the root of the chord is something different. But if we look at the root, it's G at that moment, and we would automatically think we were supposed to play five G. But what's the melody right there? I come. So that gives us clues as to what the chord actually is. So in that case, my melody is E. So I don't think the chord I'm supposed to play is actually a G. And it's not. It's actually a C over G in inversion. I come to. Now it's G. Come to thee. So knowing the melody helps us make sure our chords are exactly right. And I can give you hundreds of examples like that one where the root of the chord might be something and we think it's that. Um, but it's not actually. And
Mhm.
and what happens is you can get away with going, I come to thee, but it rubs and you can kind of hear it's not exactly right. There's something wrong there, but I don't know what it is. I come to thee. All right. So it's important to know the melody. So I need thee every hour. All right. And maybe I'll stop there. Just take the verse for example. All right. Thank you so much for watching part 1 of this series of taking the hymn I Need Thee from beginner to about the intermediate level. Now I know part 2 will be released very, very soon, so stay tuned. In the meantime, make sure you hit the like button and the subscribe button with the notification bell so that you can be notified when we release a new video. Also, comment below in the comment section new videos you'd like to see me make. I want to make the videos that you want to see. So definitely comment those below. All right. So thank you so much again for checking out this video. So until the next one, be blessed and happy practicing.